All right, folks, Tommy Coward here on the lawn with you, the real alien Tom, and here we are on the site of a newly landscaped home. And I just want to go over this landscaping and the design, and we'll look at doing a rain garden, which is what today's episode is, designing and building a rain garden. So here is our first plot plan. We came out and got all the measurements of the home. As you can see, the driveway, the dimensions, where windows are situated. So we were installing our upright plants. And you really, design is so important. Dimensions for materials and how much labor it's going to take and where everything's going to be laid out. You don't want to start in a landscape without great design. So this is the finished design. We go to the computer, get all the measurements in, and this was preliminary, which we showed the homeowner, everything spaced out. It's kind of the completed landscape, as you can see. But when we got to this site, we realized that there was a situation with water here. If you can see up the road, there's a ditch, and there's even some boulders set up to slow the water down. The whole idea of a rainwater is to hold water for rain gardens hold water for a period of time. We've been getting some serious washout down here, and we need a capacity. Our rain gardens are going to be about 3 different basins to hold that water, and the guys and gal are working over there. But let me show you the design on that right now. As you can see, here's the driveway, and this is basically where we're going to be putting some river birch in, as you can see. Turn it this way. This, you can see the boulders, how they're set up, and water was running this way and washing out the drive. This will now be bowled up really good here, and we'll have a dam constructed at the back with a little spillway for any overflow. But this will actually fill up with water. I mean, it's 550 linear feet catching water up that road, and if you say times 4 feet wide by 6 inches deep of water, you're talking thousands of gallons of water coming down here, and this is where it ends up. We've just had another recent washout. So we're going to get started on this. We're going to be building digging out some of this and putting in a new waterfall, and we're going to try to direct that water down this line, as you can see, so that it doesn't compromise the driveway on this side like it's done. And down here in the back, we'll be damming up here a nice berm on the back side and putting in a little spillway. We're really not losing that much water. There's been some erosion down that way, but mainly up here is the problem. So we'll catch the water here in the rain garden. It's going to get river birch, inkberry, muley grass, some irises, other wet plants, native wet feet plants. Oh, they also like to dry out too. But as you can see, that's our problem. So Tommy Cow will be back with you in just a little bit. Let's get moving. All right, folks, so one of the first things we did here was performed a percolation test on the water and the infiltration into the soil. We measured that off, and then we waited about 30 minutes to see how fast this water is draining off the property and the soils here. And we ended up, it's a little over an inch an hour, which is fine. I'll show you how we're coming so far here on this. This is our initial rain garden before it hits the spillway. You can see Rio's working on some stone and getting that all placed in, and that's going to follow on down, and we'll kind of, if you can see this, we'll have this bowled out quite a bit. We're taking some off that berm in the back and putting it down here in our new dam and spillway. So that's what we're working on now, is down here at the berm in the back. If you can see how this is kind of bowling out here. This should hold a lot of water. So that's how it's coming so far. All right, folks, appears that it's the next day, and we got a true test last night of our rain garden. And we'll see just how well this worked. It didn't. Water works in such mysterious ways. Our dam got breached. We are running. That 550 feet of linear feet of ditch is bringing all this water down here. Now we can truly see how much water we're getting into this area. It's really filling it up, so we've got to retrofit. But this is where we had a breach. Washed out the drive. We got some cleaning up to do. Maybe some more retrofitting here. But obviously you can see the pressure we've got to hold back this water. Unbelievable. All right, let's get to work. Well, folks, it's still pouring. It's still running. We had a breach in our dam, which we just patched. Had to clean that driveway off. As you can see how much water. This is not going to be an issue of containing water in a small rain garden. What we're dealing with here is a lot more water than we anticipated. We'll still keep the rain garden design. And, you know, this is a ephemeral creek. It's going to run whenever it rains this hard. I guess we got about an inch. As you can see, we're all flooded out. And that water's just heading down. So we'll redevise our plan here and try to let this water run. But we're going to help it a little bit more using some corrugated drain tile, some catch basins, and devise the plan just so that it has a capacity to move a lot of water on down into the drainage area below where there's a large creek. See, our dam was working there, nice spillway. And the river Rio built is working real good. But boy, that's a lot of water. All right, this is going to be our catch basin for the future. Well, this is our little pool for the catch basin, and we're going to run a line down that way. But we've been grading away here, and as you can see, it's a little different now. Placed a few boulders around, and we're just grading out, getting rid of little stones. And we put in a level spreader down here with stones, just all the rocks. So when the water hits, I'm gonna run the pipe just above those rocks. It'll spread that out. All right, Stephen, he's got allergies, and as you can see, we're in spring. We're getting a lot of pollen here. It's irritating my man, Stephen. Say hello, Stephen.
Hello, guys.
All right, you'll hang in there. All right, well, we'll see you in a bit. All right, folks, here it is, the end of the day. We're finished up for this weekend. Basically got some temporary straw down here, hold this just in case we get a deluge over the weekend. But in earlier videos, just going back to what this was, this is the last house on the cul-de-sac. It's not even a cul-de-sac, it's the dead end. But as you can see up the road, it's a ditch, and it ends here before his driveway. So all that water was heading down there, flooding him out. And we thought about a rain garden, but we found out it's way too much water. So anyway, we're going to be installing an atrium grate. Get that done. Hey, this little boxer came in real handy. So anyway, Tommy Cowett on the lawn signing out. You guys have a beautiful day. All right, folks, Tommy Cowett back on the lawn with you. And here we are. It's a beautiful morning. Just want to show you. We've got these utilities here, and we've got to put in some 8-inch drain line. And we talked about this before, the drains that come right here to this bowling basin. We'll be running about 120 feet of drain tile down to the back. But look how close I came to these utilities. I had it marked, of course. And it's just really too close for comfort. Now, these are 8-inch drain drain tile. That's our box, our catch basin. We'll have an atrium drain on top. And all that water that comes down here, we're talking millions of gallons, will be put where it belongs, down in the back. All right, folks, we're going to keep working here. My helper should be showing up pretty soon. We'll see you as things progress. Beautiful day, man. All right, folks, here we are back. Little change of plans. We decided to back up and go to 6-inch pipe, but our catch basin's in. As you can see, we're bowling this area up now. To catch that water, as a tremendous amount of water comes into this bowl. And of course, running our 6-inch line all the way down about 120 feet. Steven's pulling that in. Sid's over there painting his front door. But anyway, that's where we're at right now. It's hard work, but somebody's got to do it. All right, folks, we're just tying in these lines with these couplings. Gonna run her all the way down about 120 feet. All right, folks, we're back on site here. And as you can see, Rio's down there trying to prune up some of these shrubs that got winter injury, but we're putting in our sky pencil. As you can see down here, those are some shade-loving plants. Steven is hammering away on some of these holes. We just planted a matching Natchez crepe myrtle to that one. And we're working around. Looks like our drain is working. It's got water in the bottom of it from a rain last night. Here's something interesting we're doing. We're planting this Rhododendron cane. Giant cane, they call it. Grows about a foot a day in the summer, and we're just going to line this whole berm here on the top of the berm with the giant cane. Give him a little more privacy from neighbors. But our drainage ditch problem is solved. We have not put in our atrium drain. But Rio's cleaning up some of the dead on these. And then down here on another shady part, we put in some Aucuba. So, get these guys planted, and we're going to go run and get some pine needles, and we'll be back. All right, folks, here we are at the end of the day. Landscape's in. It looks like there's a big one coming. Big one. Landscape's in. Drainage system in. We got these burning bush in. Nice match on the crepe myrtles. Burning bush. Our drain is in. That is Slugger McGee right there. He hit a home run last week, and this weekend, put in these sky pencils. Aucuba. And we just treated these plants with Organics, as well as experiment with some GrowPro. Did a little pine needling. Tried to clean up some of this storm and winter injury on these plants. But this is basically the finished plan. I'll show you something really beautiful. This red door Sid painted. The maple. And there's the happy customers and the hard workers. And guys, we're about done here. So Tommy Cowett signing out. Hope y'all are having a great day.